new random cards in each of your handouts. I decided that I didn't want to do a full action point system. Because in order to do an action point system, I would need to get rid of the 5e elements entirely, and or if it was additional to the 5e system, it would only give you more and not actually balance out anything. And while giving you more actions in combat and all that is good, I mainly wanted to focus on you guys keeping the core 5e elements so it's not too confusing and not having to add 1,500 different things that you can do and then only having like two
Whoa.
people out of the entire group who know what's going on.
We start off with
And one of those
4
being me.
inspiration dice?
So, yes, we're going to be starting off with 4 inspiration dice that may go up and or down depending on how this goes. But that is because you now have new ways to use them. For one, you can still re-roll a d20 with an inspiration die as per normal. But if you look under Twist of Fate, I'm stealing this directly from Jared because I've actually been meaning to for a while. You can add a d6 on top of a d20 roll as well. So it's basically like a free first level Bardic Inspiration. If you roll d20 and it's not enough, you can re-roll the dice and then continue to add a d6 if you want to burn 2 inspiration at once, which I wouldn't recommend because there's so many fun things to do. But at the very least, it's one of those things of like, if you're 1 point away from an ability check, like if Duradon's trying to do a history check, and we know Duradon having literally no history, but this is like a more crucial roll that he would want to get, you get the d6, and you can get to that even if you don't have the totem, a talisman from Kipley, excuse me, or guidance or anything like that. It's just a small little feature. But more importantly, it also does actual things. Besides re-rolling and adding d6s or adding 2 rolls, I added something that I thought could be a fun thing for keeping combat going in like arduous duels a little bit longer, especially with stronger enemies. And that is Clash. To give you the summary, because it's pretty basic even in its actual layout, but to just tell you ahead of time, just in case it's confusing. If you get hit by an attack roll and someone rolls like a 25 to hit, a lot of you aren't going to be able to do anything about that. And you may be at 1 HP and there may be like a really cool thing that you want to try next turn and you need to get there. If you expend an inspiration dice, because you can't make them reroll, but if you spend inspiration dice to try and hit over their attack roll, so if you get a 26 and they got a 25, you can then make your own weapon attack. So for Duradon, it would be the the blood weapon, either where you want to use a greatsword form, halberd form, whatever. Mammoth, you can use a cantrip. Kipley, you could use Eldritch Blast, and you're going to try and hit above their roll. And then you roll your own damage dice to essentially negate theirs. So if they roll 20 damage and you roll 10, you still take 10. But if you roll higher than theirs, you take none. So it's just a fun little element that I've been looking to add, but not actually try and use a reaction for. Because I hate meddling with your own reactions that you either have in your class, in your item features, or whatever. And I'm not going to go for all of these just yet, because I'm going to go for it once Ash is here as well. But something that I've wanted to add for a long time is you guys being creative with one another, because you already do so, but I feel like this will give you the green light and some like constructive building blocks on how to be creative and not just be like, I want to nuke. Let me nuke. Or let me rage and I don't know, nuke somebody by punching them. I had a combination maneuvers where you can expend inspiration die and some elements from your kit. Excuse me, had a cough. It's either like wild shape, spell slots, rage. One of them is HP. Some of them are your item features or your item ability features. And it allows you to combo with your fellow players. It happens outside of initiative. So even though someone else could be going first in the turn order, you can still combine moves to do it beforehand or after. And essentially, I just want to give this as like a foundation for you guys being creative with one another, because you already are, but I want to give you some kind of guidelines to try and go about it. So if you expend inspiration and some whatever expendable resources you have, rage, hit points, whatever it may be, you can also create your own down the line. And hopefully by the end of the campaign, you guys can make a whole bunch of your own little combo moves and be really cool in combat. These are just some base ideas I thought would be fun to give you guidelines for both abilities where some of you guys are lacking, and also to focus on some of your strengths based on what you've shown so far in the campaign. Now, I talked for probably a good 9 minutes there. Anyone have any questions, comments, or concerns?
I'm just reading.
Each are going to have 3 abilities. One is linked up with every one of your fellow partners. They, even though you can't see them, also have abilities with you. So I will at one point... Oh, God. Okay. I will at one point have a discussion with everyone of whether they would like all of their features to be known. And you can just have it underneath all. Or if you would like to keep it on your personal tab so that you can only see the ones that you can access. This is just more for keeping all of our ducks in a row, because seeing 12 different abilities is probably confusing, but only seeing the 3 that you can use, not as much. But yeah, that's just a fun little start. Hopefully we can make something fun out of that. We'll see down the line. But I will just share all of this is going to be posted in general chat and in homebrew rules as a reminder going forward. Is that from levels 8 to 15, which is where the main story will end, we are no longer going to be doing item abilities. And instead, we are going to be doing a rework on the current item abilities, either buffing and or nerfing some of the ones that are already in use, to make it a little balanced, because Dom, when he was making this, was like, hey guys, you have basically no guidelines. I'm going to just let you go wild.
We went wild.
You went wild. Some of you way more than others. Some of you was like, I want a rock, that's cool. And others was like, I would like to have God fear me. Or see God. Which one of you can see God? And we know, that's concerning. I'm not going to touch anything or change anything that's going to cause you to not be able to play your characters or change it to the story doesn't make sense anymore. Just some fine-tuning, especially around certain characters. I didn't think at first that it was a bad idea to give a cowboy a fully automatic 6-shooter that could turn into a it's like an AR-15 sniper that fires 50 cal rounds every single turn. So we're gonna dial back some, buff some others. But from 18 to 15, we're gonna be focusing more on just creative elements rather than building on your kits. And also, because we're adding new uses to inspiration that work outside of your turns with combative maneuvers, I'm going to be removing the legendary action feature. Only because I don't want to give so many actions outside of your own turn in combat that you're going to be able to move 4 times before an enemy does.
That's fine.
I don't think that would be too, love and lost, but I figured that'd be worth mentioning just besides what I'm about to post here in the homebrew rules. But yeah, I think I may be giving more inspiration per each session. I do have it written in that you guys can earn it back through moments in the actual campaign. So if someone does something that's super funny, super heart-wrenching, super cool, amazing descriptions, whatever, etc., and we all love it, earn that inspiration dice back for either next combat, next encounter, roll, etc., whatever you like to use those for. But I may end up adding more because 4 is good, but because they're tied to abilities, we'll have to see. Anyways, that's a whole lot of yapping. Any other questions or comments before we hop into tonight's session?
So I see here that several of the maneuvers have expenses. Expenses you've mentioned get paid outside of the normal turn order.
Mhm.
Are these expenses are like things that are consumed like from the pool of things you have, or do you have to be in these states in order to?
Nope. They're consumed as a resource.
Gotcha.
Because you're not going to be using these every turn, and this is more like once or maybe twice per combat maneuvers. And combat only normally goes for like 4 to 5 rounds anyway, just because of how combat normally goes. It is going to be resource heavy, especially for some of yours, which I think will require some like really high level spell slots. For you, obviously, I couldn't use spell slots, so I had to get a little bit more creative. But it did lead to some really cool combinations of other people, so I think it'll definitely be worth the uses. Especially with the Blood Maledict features, the Rage features, and all of that. But it does actually consume resources in order to use these.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, it makes it a little bit more of like a strategic thing as well, because if you team up with somebody else, and if you have time to read through these throughout the session, you will see that I did design it very much so that some of these are smarter to use after you've already gone in combat, some better used before your turn starts, etc., etc. It's a whole lot of situational stuff, and some of them are just like, machine gun go burr. I have an ability that lets me shoot 10 different people at once. Let me go ahead and do that real quick because it's a whole bunch of imps or something.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Any other questions?
No.
Oh, the expenses that are provided, they have to be accepted by both individuals.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So it is a two-way street. Essentially, it is to stop people from just spamming them. You are essentially going to have to combo with other people and just kind of talk above the table, trying to coordinate this, and in character too. Is essentially going to be that every action is going to require 2 people to confirm this, so that you're not just affecting another player. It is 2 people that are actively working together on something. So, for example, let's just pick one of the random ones that are here. Let's do Kipley's, because this is a really fun one between you and Mammoth. So Mammoth has, if I quickly look at the sheet, I believe per day, you are currently at 2 wild shape features per day, right?
That sounds right.
Yeah,
Right.
I
A very
really like this
valuable,
one.
a very valuable resource.
Uh-huh.
In order to balance out using such a valuable resource, you have to give adequate compensation with these team-ups. So, Kipley expending a shifter charge and you expending a wild shape charge gets something called Combination Maneuver Hope Rises. Where Kipley essentially... I'll just read it off because it'll be fun. I can also show this to players so you can all read along with me. When you're using this combination maneuver, Mammoth calls upon solar energy of a rising dawn to instill Kipley's shifter form with a scorching showing. You can move up to 60 feet from your current position as you leave behind a trail of twinkling stars that deal 2d10 radiant damage when flying within 5 feet of an enemy, and can heal 1d10 HP when flying within an ally. Creatures can only be harmed or benefited by this effect once. Flyby gets it so that you don't actually provoke opportunity attacks when doing so. Now, wild shape for Mammoth can equal, utility for turning into an animal or using your chalice forms or anything like that. But in this case, if you think that this would be a smarter use of it, or you think you're not going to be using more than just Starry Form Archer, you get one of these situations where you can use it again. Now, for you, I may actually end up having to tweak some of your expenses, Mammoth, because I think I put Wild Shape for a number of these. You did, Kipley. I saw that and I was immediately like, Megan is going to love this.
I legit stared at this for a minute. I was like, what? What am I looking at?
Yeah. Mammoth specifically might have to get retuned to use either spell slots or another resource, because I think I did use Wild Shape for a lot of yours, and I know you only have 2 of them at this level. And Druids, I don't think, get a lot of Wild Shapes in general, so that is open to change, as are all these abilities for the future. But for now, as set, that's just an example.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. I think you guys will be able to come up with far more interesting ones on your own. I just wanted some default Andes for you guys to get some kind of feel and grasp of how I'm trying to center these, where you're expending a decent amount, but you're also getting a whole lot in addition to your turn already. And Jared is probably narrowing his eyes at me while staring at the Marvel Rivals icon, being like, hey Dom, did you really steal the idea of team-ups from them? And yes, I did.
was not thinking that, but you give me much credit.
I didn't consciously do it, but only afterwards did I go back and say, 2 people are required to activate a feature that is only a limited cooldown. Interesting. Wonder where I got that idea from. But
listen, I already tried the Luna, what's the name, team up? Shit's
feels good.
actually gas.
Feels good. Okay. Any other questions before we start?
9.
9?
Knit.
Okay. So we're going to get in to tonight's session. I'm going to do a quick little recap. We're going to end probably at like 11:30 or 11:45. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter night because I have to get up at like 4:45 tomorrow morning because I'm opening and my boss hates me. But I have coffee and I'm willing to fuck it out a little bit past that probably, because we just haven't had a session in a very long time. I want to give you guys some time to RP and begin moving it forward. That lovely ironwood thicket. So, with that in mind, I can actually do a short recap because while a lot was said, not a whole lot was advanced in the plot. So, last time on Journey to the Shrouded Isles, which feels so good that that title actually makes sense now, you guys encountered essentially a strange beast called Malar. You went inside of his domain, you met him in his kind of like very private ritual chambers that you later found out was kind of a sacrifice room, with the Savagers bringing random creatures that they find from the actual forest and plains into this kind of ritualistic combat and or kind of judgment room, where this once godlike being decides whether they're respected enough, powerful enough, or cunning, or just interesting enough to actually be able to leave with their life. Upon entering, you guys saw that this thing wasn't very talkative. You had combat with it, and you ended up seeing that Mammoth got torn in half. Uh, Kipley, I believe, yes, because you have your lovely feature with the hairpin. You saw a truly disturbing sight of Mammoth being liquidated and reformed. Um, Mammoth had a little cute scene, which he later revealed with the party with his grandfather. Um, and it was made clear that, for one, the Bone Mother is most certainly a little bit more than what you initially thought, or at least is just pretty well known, if in the fact that she was still alive during this time. You don't know how old she was originally. She didn't exactly give you a crass course on exactly who she is, but you have now confirmed that she's probably at least over, a few millennia in age, considering that you're over, or you think you're around either 1,000-ish to like maybe 700-ish years in the past. And after that encounter, essentially, after seeing you were alive and that Malar wasn't chasing you, the group of Savagers just assumed, incorrectly, that Malar had essentially allowed you guys to pass the trial, had accepted you as one of their own, and essentially said that, hey, you're going to go out into a crazy forest of very dangerous creatures. You can do that. We're not going to stop you, but we advise against it. And since you've passed the trial, you are technically, whether you would like to identify as one of them, or not, one of them. So you're safe as long as you're within their bounds and territory. You took a long rest. A lot of you feeling very unsure about it. Some of you just not sleeping. A majority of you are just kind of feeling at unease in this very confusing territory. But eventually, the next day came around, and Malar had offered to answer questions now that after the strange encounter with the long-bearded figure that had arrived after Mammoth had gotten eaten, seemed to change Malar for the better. It looked like before he was more of a rampant beast, but as you met him in the morning, he appeared to be more refined, less monstrous, or at least monstrosity looking, and more like a beast, as you would expect of this kind of more ape-like creature. And you got some information from him. You got the Child of the Comet was a name that was referred to towards Mammoth. Clearly, he was very disappointed in the fact that Mammoth had little information and questions to ask from him. It was very clear that he knew more about Mammoth's past, but was giving information as it was being requested, as opposed to just essentially lore dumping on you. He did give you a power scale, saying that that large kind of reptilian beast that you saw eating the stars in scale to him is a insurmountable task, and really only is sealed rather than actually killed, as it was in the past. He mentioned that you were already on the right path, and that if you're going to the Ironwood Thicket, that you would meet that Druidic circle that you were unable to decipher when the Circle of Serenity originally mentioned them. And you found out that's because they don't technically have a name in the common language. And since that's what she wrote it in, you can't read common. It was kind of a sad moment of, hey, I don't really know what this is, so I'm just going to try and guess. And there really wasn't any good guesses there. It's the first circle. It's the primal circle. It is, in fact, what you learn to be the original circle that all druids originate from. I can speak English. And you learned essentially that this is a very dangerous place to go. As not only is this a dangerous trek across the water, but the circle isn't exactly as inviting as many other druid groves. Sure, they are druids and you are being one of their kin, maybe you're accepted a little bit better, but it was pointed out that although you are unaware of it, it is very clear that beings of higher power can essentially smell it off of Duradon, like a greasy man who hasn't showered in 2 weeks of all of his previous sins, and not as much sins, but just actions when it came to his childhood and killing a large majority of the world's druids. Now, of course, he didn't kill all of them by hand. He was still only a teenager. But being involved in that, it's very clear that even though you're in a different part of the world right now, that still lingers on your hands. And being the protector of the other grove, you learned that Malikli, another powerful being like Malar, was in fact their champion. Malar is more of kind of like a nature-based spirit, so he's both on the side of the Savagers, those who actually care to the land and those who live on it, so he didn't care as much. But he mentioned that you'd be walking into the original Druid's Grove, and that you should be very careful about how you express yourself while doing so. But he gave you information of how to actually get inside. There is a complex series of different Druidic phrases that you're going to find throughout the woods in order to get in. And gave you a monkey blessing by licking the top of your head and slapping you on your way out, saying, as long as you traveled up until running water, you would be safe and no beasts would be able to follow you. And we moved on. You guys were escorted out by the Savagers, and they brought you to open water, where you took another long rest, deciding to head out in the morning. On New Day's light, we had, I believe, a near 10-minute period of time that occurred IRL of trying to remember how to activate a wooden boat. Dom, very, very diggishly, wanted to see if you could remember that it requires different phrases to actually make the boat turn into a boat, and that if you summoned it by the actual water side, you would be unable to use it because you would just push it ashore or land it, either terminology you want to use. You actually remember this, and Kipley threw out the boat roughly about I think 60 feet into the ocean, and upon speaking the name that you instilled, which is just Mammoth's name for everything, I think at this point, help. It's gonna get real concerning when you'd be like, hey ma'am, do you need help? And then a boat just springs into action, just kills like 70 people. Yeah, don't go any major cities with that. That'd be kind of concerning now that I think about it.
It's the word is work.
Work.
Well,
That's
not
right.
help, yeah.
That's still a pretty commonplace word. I'm gonna have to find some scenarios where I make you say the word work now and just have your broom fly off and all that fun stuff. Anyway, memes besides the point. You summoned a galleon that is essentially the same size as the Dragon's Vow, if not, I believe, slightly smaller. And we got a cover art of what it looks like, as it is not just a normal boat. It is, every time it is summoned, it takes on an aspect of the actual summoner. So in your case, you got this really cool kind of like dragonfly winged ship with all these different sails. And it is very much a ship built for speed, as you can tell. There's not a whole lot of weaponry. There is a ballista, and there is 2 harpoon guns that can be used on it, but it is mainly just a galleon ship that can be used for sailing. And you got some little ghostly servants to help let you do that task without needing a crew to do so. And with Cyrus at the helm, you don't really got to worry about any piloting checks of water vehicles or anything like that. And so, that is where we left off, and that is where we're going to pick up tonight. Your goals ahead of you as it stands is to make it all the way over from your current position to the Hollow Hills, well, I guess to the south of the Hollow Hills, where you're going to get the Ironwood Thicket, and then all the way 198 miles away to the Majocracy, the probably most dangerous place for a group of time travelers to go. The city of magic, the city of Relen, where you're
Hate it.
planning to meet Torren Salir to create an artifact to help you with this quest and understanding both what is this connection you have with Mischief and how you can better fix it and her. And with that in mind, as you all begin to clamber onto the ship, you can see the ghostly servants that are begin to hover around, which look kind of just like green wisps, not too unlike what you saw in the lanterns of the whittled wisps not too long ago. Are just kind of like these formless little spheres, kind of going around, adjusting the rigging, keeping the sails always in their most optimal state with the wind. You can see that they kind of just constantly hovering around Mammoth as well. You don't actually, they don't speak language, and there's no form of communication with them. But you'd assume they're just awaiting orders for anything that you would have to ask. And as you all clamber on one by one and begin to set sail, I believe with the ship's speed, which you do have ship stats in your Roll20 Mammoth, if you look under characters, it's a rough-hewn version. I'll make a full stat sheet eventually, but I was busy, so I haven't had a chance to. You have a day's travel across the sea, opposed to going, it's 24 miles per land. It would have taken you way longer to actually go around than go over. So you are saving yourself an exuberant amount of time by doing this. Even so, now that the Malar counter has seen to its continuation, it is about that time I'm going to ask you all three of you to go ahead and roll me D100s. As we go to the open oceans, it's time to see what your next random encounter is going to be. As a reminder, 1 in 100, even if it is not wanted or desired, is automatically chosen for you. Anything else in between, you can choose amongst yourselves which roll of the die you would like to explore.
Okay.
Wonderful. You have 61, 41, and 46. All closer to the middle. What would you guys like to do?
Sail on. It's only 24 something miles. Right?
Oh, yes. But which encounter would you like to choose between
Oh.
those three?
Let's not choose mine again.
Nothing has gone wrong choosing yours so far.
I'm partial to 46 for some reason.
I like 61.
46 is going crazy in my head right now.
Oh
46.
my god. You bastards.
I love it. Immediately, don't pick me. I really like yours. Okay. Is that
Is it-
2 votes for 61?
For 46.
Or 46, excuse me?
Because this combination of I had a 4, Mammoth had a 6, and Kipley just brings it all together.
Just because it was closest to 50 was my reasoning.
Oh, well.
I don't like either.
But yours is
That's
cool too.
We got to the same conclusion.
2 in favor of 46, 1 voting for 61. 46 it is. Now, just because you two were really pushing for it, both of you can go ahead and roll me a d4. And let me know the result.
That was a 6. Oops. 3.
3. Jared.
1.
Beautiful. Going to a total of 4. Well, give me one moment. So, The day sets off with smooth sailing and actually beautiful weather. The skies are clear, and you can sense that you have a tailwind. Bring about a actually efficient days of travel. You are going to make it in what was going to be a day and a half, just for a day now if you would like to push through the night. But in addition, with little to no actual cloud cover in the sky, as you begin to approach more towards the actual, oh, that is the map layer. Move the map, not the token. That makes sense. As you begin to get closer towards the Hollow Hills, and you're now beginning to see the opposite coast, I'd like everyone here to go ahead and make me perception checks.
Boy.
You were looking for a DC of 15 or above. Brutal. We got an 8, we got a 13. Mammoth, can you tie it together?
I accidentally closed my character sheet, so I have to. I don't know how that happened.
Mammoth refuses. He in fact closes his eyes.
Perception.
Damn. 27.
27.
Better than both of you combined. God damn. Okay.
Okay.
Mammoth sees. Hey, it's not judgment. It's more surprise. That's all. That's what we were going with. As you're about, you do still see the surroundings, but it is more just kind of taking in all of what's before you. Mammoth, you notice that as you kind of are passing through, there's a lot of smaller bits of islands that you're going past. And as you're going past them, you can see they are appearing to be uninhibited. They're not very large. There's some kind of flora and fauna that you can see about them, but you don't actually see people as you're going by. Now, some are anywhere between like 130 to like maybe 150 feet in actual radius and diameter, but you see some islands that are like pretty large, especially one that you pass by that looks like it is potentially the size, if not slightly bigger than Paradise Peak. And boy, does that give you some retrospect for where you've been spending the majority of your campaign is no actually bigger than this island right here. You continue to look out over the seas, and you can see, and you can see that the waters here are extraordinarily clear. During your time and the actual life that you grew up in, you didn't actually see polluted waters, and even when you're going on your way to Paradise Peak, you didn't see polluted waters. But for it to be this clear, and for the light to shine this bright down to depths where you can actually see like a good over 100 and probably 20 feet down before the light stops, you get this is pretty deep water. And especially with these currents, it seems to be rather calm water. So you don't think any storms are nearby. You don't think there's any kind of actual currents that would be going against you. And as you're looking out throughout the day, you don't see there's any other real ships or any kind of like traveling, like either like, no, not the word I'm looking for, caravans. An oceanic caravan, that makes sense. You don't see any other fleets or groups of ships moving cargo. That's what I was looking for, dear God. It seems to be just you guys out there in the very silent, but, I mean, still pretty enjoyable day of travel that you have. Before, I think the majority of you guys have only experienced bad situations on the ship. One time you went out in the Dragon's Vow, immediately died. One of your party members immediately died. The next time you went out, you ran into Mimic Island. So you're just kind of enjoying the day of not having to deal with a life-threatening event while being on board this wonderful ship of yours. You can see all the servants that are here just kind of are buzzing about again, just kind of constantly following you around like a little trail of light, just doing whatever is required. But as the actual travel goes, is there any RP or anything that you guys would like to do while you're spending the day of travel on the ship?
No, you just brought up such an interesting point that I really haven't thought about until now, which was how big Paradise Peak actually is.
Oh yeah.
And how much fucking land we've been on.
No, and it does, all of you with any of your perception checks, the Paradise Peak point is more to the fact that Mammoth picked it up first and got it in its entirety. But as you were passing by that island in particular, it does dawn on all of you that you've traveled on land, which is something that you would normally never do in the actual wild because of how it can shift from your timeline and how dangerous that means. You've traveled over 80 miles so far. This is the longest land journey any of you have ever been on. And now that you are sailing by an island that is the size of Paradise Peak, this map is in fact 1-to-1. And I'll say as that kind of dawns on Kipley, you do kind of glance at it and you get the idea that this world that you once knew and thought was so much smaller than it actually was, you are only seeing maybe 4% of it so far. And there is so much more to discover and explore.
Oh boy. Yeah, I feel like that's a lot for Kipley to crunch and thought-wise.
Yeah. Pterodon and Mammoth, anything you guys are doing?
No.
Yeah, not really.
Okay.
Just relaxing.
Yeah. I mean, again, this is probably the best weather that you've had so far, and the least amount of threats that you have seen. So you get a successful day's worth of travel. And as the light from dawn turns to afternoon, turns to evening, you can see as night begins to set in, Cyrus kind of calls you all to the actual helm of the ship and goes, "All right, my lovely companions, I have a question for you. Because we have had a tailwind behind us all day, we've actually made quite more progress than I actually thought we would. If you would like to push through the night, I could get us to shore come tomorrow. It would be early morning by the time that we docked. Or if you would like, we can simply, well, we're not going to be dropping anchor as I don't think it would reach bottom here. But we could simply idle throughout the night and rest and go through shifts that way. Up to you.
I
I don't
mean,
mind if we push through.
if we have to, sure, but I mean, being in unknown territory, you don't want to exhaust yourself. Pushing through would bring us to exhaustion, would it not?
For you all, you can rest. I believe I could get us there with the assistance of the, It just kind of gives like that. Cyrus looks like she is extremely not concerned, but just kind of weirded out by this kind of ghostly crew. Because they do kind of hover around her, but they keep their distance from her in the same way that it looks like she's trying to keep hers from theirs. And she goes, I think these weird globes of mammoth can assist me enough throughout the night that I'd be technically the only one that would have to deal with such problems, but you can all rest beneath the deck. I'm sure I can manage. And of course, if there is any issues, I know you will all come running anyways, so.
We should all get a good rest. There's no reason for us to rush.
Sure.
Kipley's just like at the fuck, I don't know what it's called. Over the rail, like at the rail on one end, and just like looking out. Not looking out. Her eyes are closed. She's just kind of feeling the air, and just this feels more comfortable.
Sure. She looks kind of towards the rest of you, and you can see that at this point, Mustang has been recovering for the majority of his own injuries, and she kind of goes, I'll let you all decide exactly what you want to do on your own time. I'm fine either way. I think it'd be smart, as Kipley would say, that we rest. There's really no rush for what we're in. I'm gonna go fucking bed either way, so evening. And departs downstairs. So, from what it sounds like, it looks like we're leaning towards resting for the evening on the water, opposed to rushing to get to land, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So no one's going to take any levels of exhaustion. Cyrus doesn't need to make any piloting checks at disadvantage. So, with that, I'll move the token up. You are, come morning, you will be not even half a day's travel from land. In fact, you can see just barely on the horizon the actual coastline. And as evening falls and you begin to see this, just going off of all of your kind of crazy passive perceptions, and, Kipley existing there as well, you can see there is a massive, what looks like to be grouping of mountains in the far distance, actually inland, that just kind of mark the actual line between the actual coast and the range behind them. But going down and keeping not quite the size of the mountains, but almost in kind of like a cascade, like a downward cascade of height measurement, you can see on the southern mountain tops and going into the actual land and valleys themselves from there, you see trees that, in description of the redwoods, I mean, you can only imagine how tall they would be from this point that you could actually see them. You can't make out fine detail because you're not actually that close to land yet. You're still a good few miles away, but even still, you can tell that this is a massive and dense forest. Whatever these kind of roots of the trees are, Dirdon, you get reminded very quickly that when you were talking with Escaldos, it said that the roots ran so deep that they could hold the actual land beneath the soil together in kind of like a massive mesh of life. And you begin to understand why.
Wow, those trees are so massive. Do you think we could... No, we can't. We've got... Okay, if we happen to pass any, do you think maybe we could, like, try and get some seeds off of it or anything and take back with us? Do you think that's possible? She's looking desirous.
We're asking if you can pick up a seed.
Like, bring a seedling or like one of those. I don't know, can we bring the full fucking tree with us?
It's gonna be pretty hard to bring an entire tree with us, considering they're probably bigger than the ship.
So the ship is the measuring tape, essentially?
I'm guessing from this point, considering we can see them from the actual. We're miles away, and we can still see them.
I just think we should
canopies
bring
wide.
some back. Imagine it. They're so massive.
Sure, if you want to try and look for tree seeds, which is a very weird way of addressing them, yeah. Is the proper term?
What would you call
are
them?
all- I don't know. All tree seeds, pine cones or acorns or I don't know. What do trees drop? I'm not exactly.
They're pine trees.
I'm not a plant person. I've
I'm not
lived in the
either.
Underdark where there's no trees at all. Majority of my life, I haven't actually seen plants except for the
Mammoth!
rather blandish. Okay.
Hi.
Can we bring one of those trees back with us?
I don't mind.
Do you like innately know how they reproduce?
Just like in general.
Yeah.
Well, you put a seed in the ground and then you water it and you take care of it and then it.
Kipling
Gross.
immediately, like, her face looks back to Cyrus with a smile.
What?
Seed.
Don't look at me like that.
It's a seed.
Cool. You can. I'm not saying like I'm not against you in this point. I'm just saying they're very large trees, so I don't know where you would find the seeds.
Maybe they're large seeds. I don't know.
Okay. If we happen, well, we're going through there if we're looking for the grove, so.
All
you're
right,
gonna have-
everyone look for large seeds.
Yep.
That is our goal.
That's the
as we
only
move
reason that we're
forward.
going there.
Yes.
No other reason.
Yes.
We're not here to help the child understand his origins. We're just looking for tree seeds.
Oh, I thought we were here
How
for
do
you.
For me?
Yeah.
God's no.
We're in this time for her. We're not going to do this thing for her.
Oh. Okay.
No, this is something that you both, Duradon and Mammoth, insisted on doing. If I had it my way, I'd go straight to Relen and start this whole item process immediately, but I mean, you're kind of trapped here because of me, so I would like to try and let you do this at your own pace and leisure.
Oh.
And I, you know,
That's so thoughtful.
it's
Also,
literally the bare minimum.
I know.
Kipley, how do you define what exactly is a tree's seed?
She holds up her hands and then, like, makes them bigger. I don't know, does this look right? Maybe it's like this tiny.
I think he
Well,
meant
what
try
kind
and
of
actually
tree is it?
describe what it looks like.
Oh, I don't know. I've never fucking seen these trees before. I don't know anything about them. They're massive.
Big trees.
What if they could, like, you know, hold things together?
I mean, I'm no expert, but we killed a lot of druids and kind of raiding their homes. It was important to learn a thing or two.
That
Do we-
seems unnecessary.
do we do? It was for a point. Like, do we know what climate and environment that these trees can exist in? Can we replicate that back home? Do
Uh,
we have deep enough soil for roots?
Duradon. Oh, actually, all of you, go ahead and give me a history or nature check, your choice.
Oh boy.
And
Uh-oh.
Are you
Mammoth,
a druid that doesn't
Mammoth,
have?
actually,
Yay!
Mammoth can do so at advantage.
I don't need to.
Oh, you don't need to. Fantastic. Everyone else can still do so, but
I'm not
obviously,
going
natural 20 will
to.
be honored.
Just Kipling knows nothing.
18 for Duradon as well. Okay, cool. We're gonna start with the 18 first. Um, Duradon, you. So here's the fun thing, because this is actually very similar in what I'm about to describe for both you and Mammoth. You understand how it comes to you. As you're kind of thinking, what climate would ironwood trees grow in? You have never actually seen the ironwoods before. From your description that you had from Esclados, their roots run far across the land. Like they can span entire islands. So you're kind of like presuming like, oh, maybe these things actually live in quite a few different environments because the majority of the infrastructure goes so deep that they can get nutrients from so far down. And all they would really need is consistent water and not extraordinarily harsh conditions. But then both you and Mammoth kind of have the same conclusion. And Mammoth, you're actually completely unsure of how you know this, because you've never seen an ironwood tree before. But you kind of just blurt out, and feels like you remember this at the same time as you do. Ironwoods are the most resilient tree on the planet. They are actually one of the most resilient materials on the planet, and is what is used as the wooden base for majority of actual magically enchanted items from your time. And you kind of remember that these things can grow literally anywhere. They can survive in any terrain, they can survive in any environment, and they need little to no actual nourishment. They live and die and reproduce as normal trees do, but their lifespan is hundreds of years long. They're older than elves themselves, and the ironwood is extraordinarily durable. And most likely, if you bring back seeds from this time back to yours, with druidcraft and plant growth, you could absolutely rebuild a forest of these.
So anyway, I just thought that maybe we could bring them with us.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Alright, well, we're gonna need a bigger bag then.
Don't you
mean
guys
like
have
an actual
apples?
tree?
What?
Sorry, because we're not. You don't mean the actual tree. You're just still talking about the seeds, right?
Yeah.
What was the?
I was thinking. I'm not used to this.
Thinking?
Nature.
Oh. Okay, that's fair enough. I still have my bag of holding.
Oh.
I don't know if any of you still have your vassalship tokens, but
No, everything was taken from us
Yeah.
when we came
Right.
back here, yeah. What you got in there?
maybe. Huh?
What you got in there?
Nothing.
There's nothing? You have a
essentials.
bag of holding with nothing in it?
I have some gold, provisions, water, that type of thing.
Hmm. Okay.
She just kind of like deadpan stares at you.
Yeah, Kidley's just
Um,
kind of looking back at her with like a cheeky kind of smirk.
Moving on. Maybe next time we visit Aldrin, you can ask if he can pull those things back to here for you.
No, we already tried.
Oh. Maybe I could ask him. I don't know.
Do you think that... You think that would work?
It's a great line of questioning and moving on the subject from what I don't want to talk about, so yes.
So it sounds like you have plenty of room for big seats.
Maybe.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
not a no, so big win.
Looks over to you, Duradon goes, you weren't captured with them, though. What did happen to yours?
So try to remember this chronologically. Your other
I-
half.
I can remind you exactly where it is, because you remember. It's pretty hard to forget. The original vassalship token was in fact disintegrated.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah. Yeah. Disintegrate is I think the easiest way to put it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Oh
the same
my.
thing that happened with your shield and your coat. No,
I'm sorry, did you say you disintegrated my coat and shield?
I didn't disintegrate shit. I don't know the spell.
No,
But
but you got my coat and shield disintegrated. My very lovely gifts that I said you could borrow. Not have, but borrow, and I assumed you put them like in a stash somewhere or like something else.
It's a shield. Would you not use it to block
It was my
things?
favorite coat.
well,
I've had that coat since I was in the Underdog. That's like almost 200 years old.
you should definitely tell Percy's father that the next time you see him because
we're
I
telling
don't
him.
think he cared.
That's right. Get mad. Get mad.
Well, then he owes me a fucking coat.
No, he owes us a lot more.
My
Also,
life.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Going off that logic, do we? She kind of just looks around the group like a hesitant, kind of half smile. We're in the past. Things are kind of at our fingertips. I know we were told not to deviate anything or touch anything by the big bad dragon. However, we're going to a city of magic. If we're talking about bringing back seeds, do we maybe want to bring back, like, historical pieces? 'Cause I think the whole arcane detonation thing really destroyed a lot of you guys' history and origins and the actual civilizations that came before you, so could bring back tomes and stuff like that so you could re-educate the people.
I like that
For?
idea. We could build a museum.
What's a museum?
Why?
Because we've got all this cool stuff.
But what for?
I meant more like a library, but sure.
Yeah, I was on Zyrus with that, and I don't know what is a museum.
Oh, it's like a place where people put a whole bunch of cool stuff. I think. I don't really know.
It's like a
So like
library.
a showroom? It's like a library with a
then
showroom.
I don't. Sure. Yeah, but
Trophy
like
room.
big.
Like a big trophy room.
Yeah, and there's cool. You know what? Never mind. We don't need to make a museum.
I mean, it's kind of
I
like
was just
where
saying,
New Baron was
yeah.
killed, right?
What?
Wait. Was attacked. Wait, what was no fuck? New yeah, no, he was
No, it was new. It was new. Oh God, who was actually there with him?
I
I'm
don't.
trying to
I
think
have.
back.
I don't
well,
remember
he
at all
told
how
us.
he died.
He told you guys. No one else was actually with him. He was by himself. That's right.
Yeah.
It would be an apt description to say exactly that. Yes, from his description, the Dabala showroom is not meant to be a
Oh,
museum, but does hold a lot of historical artifacts from which he was killed in. Yes.
They would have one.
Why? Damn. That was like a hard T on that day.
What you mean by that, Kipling?
Not like the Dumbalas or something? Isn't that's where your friend came? Actually, well, I guess you don't have to like the whole family. That's like an apt description of a lot of people that you deal with, and we deal with. That's fair.
Yeah, their grandfather did also kill me. So
Right, no, that was weird because I'm normally back seating for mischief, and then I was like back seating for you.
I don't know what that means.
It's like imagine you're at like an amphitheater and you're watching a play, and then all of a sudden that play was actually a play inception, and someone was watching you watching that play.
I don't know if I've ever seen a play.
Oh, that's sad. I don't mean sad in like a bad way. I mean like the sad as in you should be shown a play. They're quite good.
Anyway,
Show you some. Okay.
yeah. See,
I'll show you a play sometime. If they have plays in this time.
is it like? No, never mind. Anyways, so, all right. Seeds in the bag. We're gonna kill the Relens, and
Oh,
but first we're gonna go through the Ironwoods, and we're going to get you two sorted out. She points at both Duradon and Mammoth. Right? Yeah. Get you figured out, figure out who you are, where you come from, and maybe change your fortunes.
I thought Relen was a place.
Oh, right.
Well, then that doesn't make any sense. What you said.
I mean, nothing new there.
Right.
also, I don't think we can change too much about us. I don't know how the whole thing works, but if we eliminate the things that make us us, will we be us to do those things?
right. I feel like that's more of like you affect like a family member or something, no? I mean, I'm fine. All my people are from the underdog, so I don't really think unless we go there, which I don't think we will. I'm good. I don't know where the rest of you would be in the world though, so.
Really?
Yeah,
I think we can only go up, guys.
yeah, but if you go up, then you were never down to go up from, right?
What?
Exactly.
Mammoth gets me.
for me.
It's like if the whole reason you would be going up is because you're down in the first place, and you, relative to the poor luck you have now, you would alter something here to go to a better position, but the you that does that wouldn't exist if you didn't have the bad circumstances happen to you to start with, or to the people that eventually made you. Right? Is that like a...
Exactly.
It's not like... Yeah.
Cyrus just pats her head and goes, "You're so wise, you savage barbarian, you."
Yeah, I'm not really seeing a downside to that.
Oh, that's right. You don't like life. Okay. That tracks.
Not true.
You said you didn't see a downside. I assume that was like you not existing wasn't a bad thing.
Well, I don't know
So I
why
thought it
you
was...
would automatically think that you just wouldn't exist by changing one little thing. I mean, if that were the case, we couldn't do anything. It would be terrifying to even talk to other people.
I mean, we are really going on a whim here.
Yeah, I
we
think that
won't.
was the initial reaction to interacting with people.
Yeah. Yeah, like... So, there's no... Like, all that we're doing, there's no guarantee that, like, at the end of it, it'll be like a... Well, fuck. You couldn't have done that because you always were supposed to fucking fail here, and this is always supposed to be how things were. I don't know. The concept of time, it seems like really strange, because I can only think about forward, like past, present, and like future, and two of those things have always been just like, that is what it is, and now that's not what it is, and this is strange.
But it is. We're together, and this is what it is for us. So this is our time moving forward. Until we jump time somewhere else. Then that's our time moving forward.
So every time is our time.
Yeah. We're our main timeline.
It's just like a endless spring of positivity.
So what would you change, Kipling? Or what do you plan to change?
Oh. I mean, I feel like I've made it quite clear.
Dordan will look around to everyone else to see if he's missed a thing.
Cyrus kind of gives a side eye towards Kipling. Kipling, give me an insight check. So you can get advantage.
Oh.
On that.
Okay, well
You
that's
can go ahead
good.
and roll again.
Meh.
13. Okay. You can see, because Cyrus isn't trying to hide this fact, she was trying to actively make this face as obvious as possible to you. You give Cyrus a look, because you've told Cyrus what you want to do in the past multiple times before, when you were taking watch together, and while you were at the, when you initially had your conversation with Mischief about the past and Ultron was there. So she knows, which kind of gives you a look of like, do you want me to say it?
Kipley shrugs. What? I mean, I personally, I wanna do away with the Renels. I wanna do away with fucking what's her face and that one guy and the one who tried to kill you and yeah, pretty much the big power families. I think they need to go. Mostly the Renels.
Okay, I was about to say that makes sense, but I feel like the getting rid of power family. So you just want the Renels? Like, you don't like power families in general, but specifically the Renels have to go.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Renels. I'm really, the Dumbolas, I really thought I thought different things about them, and it turns out it wasn't like I thought, so...
What did you think about them? Or what expectation did you hold for them that they didn't meet?
It's just... I hadn't... They're not like Maeve. I thought maybe her mom, you know, that we had a moment or something, I don't know, and her sister. I thought maybe they were people I could... It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because they're not. And they were liars. Just like the Rennells. And they only cared about their own... They only cared about themselves. And they almost killed you. So you know what? I don't think it's a bad thing that we care about ours. Because apparently that's how you fucking survive. So she gives Duradon a little punch in the arm. Let's go get him.
Yeah, sure. That's yeah. I'm a bit curious, I think, of I've been with you all for a while. I've died with you a lot. What's everyone's like end goal? What's the... I mean, we have to do this so that we can not die to a like really powerful entity in our present time, but past that, like Mammoth, Kipley, what are you gonna do when you finally don't have to kind of deal with the threat of dying from accepting a deal when you were much weaker?
Well, I still have to fight off the serpent.
You have the whole destiny, I guess. That... Okay. And Kipley?
I forgot what the question was.
Like, what's your thing when you're not worried about correcting something like the whole thing with mischief, and you can finally start working on the stuff that's what you want? What do you want?
I do. I think that's all kind of beyond us at this point.
She kind of gestures to herself.
I mean,
There's
sure,
no
but
fixing this. What I want is gone now.
what did you want?
It's not important and I'd rather not dwell on it. Because it just makes me sad. I'd rather think about things that make me happy, like Murdering the Renells.
Well, that's fair. I just I
And
think.
Layla Solaire. Whoever her family is.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Cool. I feel like motivation is going to be a really important part of what we do moving forward, and a lot of the choices that we end up making.
What's
What's
your
your end goal?
motivation?
Oh, well, you see, I finally lived long enough to re-traumatize myself as an adult, so fix a bunch of other shit that, like, free my people from, like, being ice zombies, and then now I've also decided to be the protector of the Ironwood Thicket. More like I was selected for it. It was a weird situation. So now I have a title and thing that I have to do. So it's kind of like
Oh, you're
a
so put
responsibility.
upon.
I'm just saying it was either this or stay dead. And I had just enough willpower to decide not to stay dead. Oh, and help Zyrus with her stuff. So
I
yeah.
What's
just
her stuff?
Well, whatever it is, I'm pretty sure she
Oh.
isn't doing any of this without baggage. I mean, no offense, but
No, we did talk about it. It was just a while ago, so I didn't think you remembered.
no, I do remember. I just didn't want to say anything in front of people because that was like that's personal. And Kipley seems to be the you know the 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 leader of not sharing the personal stuff. So I was taking a note from her book.
I think I've been rather open with the majority of things that I've talked about with everyone. And I think whether we like to or not, since we are nearly all connected through one way or another, I know quite a bit about a lot of you. So it's,
Oh yeah? What's my middle name?
I have no idea.
I don't have one.
Oh, I guess I was
Now
kind
you
of
know.
on the spot. Alright, yeah. You don't have a last name, do you? Is it just Mammoth?
As far as I know.
Does that ever bother you? Do you ever, just one singular word to be used as your name when it's also a stinky, furry creature?
I think it's cool. But I don't know. I'm just me.
Hey, listen, kid. Whatever floats your galleon.
Right, the water.
And it's a very bad boat joke. And you can always give yourself your own last name if you ever want one. They're not really that important. I've had to change my last name many times, based on
Really?
those of which who have
Cool.
tried to, change our houses, marry me, things
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
because you're a criminal, though.
What?
Wait, you've almost been married before?
Many times, yes.
Correct.
The houses of which I was in are predominantly run by female drow, but they use other female. Well, they use both female and males, but very rarely the males, to kind of merge two houses together in like a very powerful alliance. And Amaril wasn't actually my first last name. It was the one that I got married into, but I liked it enough that I kind of kept it, even though I did end up having to kill her.
How many of your spouses have you killed?
Now, you asking that question, I feel, is only going to lead to concern, so that maybe I won't share.
Like more or less than 10.
what lovely weather we have. She looks up,
You're
and
like a praying mantis.
there's no weather whatsoever. It's completely dead and dark, and the water's very still. She stares out into the open ocean.
Have any of them been non-drow?
Boy, you ever just look at the stars? Notice how bright
Quite
they
a lot,
are.
actually.
Yeah.
Is that
I get your
before or
thing,
after
man.
mischief?
Hmm?
Before.
Yeah, that's a fantastic question.
I feel like if I answer anything else about this, there's going to be multiple follow-up questions that will lead into a deep delve. I will answer this one, and this will be the last one. For now. Both. I think there was one before, and I think there was a few after.
Did you enjoy what you did?
Listen, bud. She puts her hand on your shoulder. I'm not gonna kill you. You gotta put those doubts aside. I'm not a praying mantis. I may have been poisoning you slowly through the duration of us knowing each other.
I
But that's
knew
not.
it.
That's out of love. Trust me,
Love.
when you get well, yeah, of course. No, hey, listen, kid. Love is in like I care and love for you all.
Insight check.
Yeah, go ahead, make me an insight check.
When she started to say she loved other people, that's when I knew I could think that she was joking about me. But when she said other
Yeah,
people,
go ahead, and make me an insight check.
gang. All right, cool.
Absolutely.
Insight.
I will remind you, you do have the availability to roll that d6 as well if you'd like to burn inspiration for that,
Yeah,
or if you'd like to reroll.
I'll burn a d6 or burn an inspiration for a d6. And it's another day, so I think I have Kipley's little wasa.
You do have the talisman, yeah. So you can potentially get to 30 if you roll on 4 and a 6.
Alright, that's
30.
3 and talisman. 24.
24, cool. So she laughs, and you get the fact that it is kind of like a cover up amongst a friend group that's like when a couple hasn't been dating that long to be calling it dating in front of other people. It's not like the uncomfortability of saying it, it's more like protecting the other partner from saying it in case it hasn't been defined yet, which in your case you believe it definitely hasn't been. When your concern was the love for other people though, right?
Yeah.
As she says that, you catch her subtly, like, not looking at her, but kind of moving, like, kind of shifting her body slightly away from Kipley as she says that, and you sense that there isn't necessarily, like, you don't know the depths of it. If you got a 25, I would have told you. But, you get that there's potentially something there. You don't know what, but she definitely avoided Kipley after you said that.
Suspicious. Quite suspicious.
But, she goes, it is evening, and if everyone's going to be resting for the night, I think we should start taking shifts. I will watch first. Everyone, go enjoy your sleep and rest.
Are you sure you've been up all night?
Oh, the night's actually just started. Night is
You've
young.
been up
I will be
all
fine.
day.
Drow only need to sleep 4 hours anyways.
Great,
Hi.
okay. Good night.
Good night. And with that, we can start a rest. Would anyone like to take First Watch with Cyrus? You do not actually have to. You only need 3 watches per night. If you want to do any of them, you don't technically have to.
Durnan will take first watch with Cyrus.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Gang, this is where Roll20 and me we look up and we decide that this is
I'll
gonna be a
roll one
great
for
night.
her as well.
Yeah.
Cyrus has a plus.
Nice.
Oh, that's so cute that you and Cyrus have the same modifier. And also rolled both really fucking well. 24 and a 27.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you begin to take watch throughout the evening. Your dark vision only goes to, was it 120 feet?
Yep.
Right? Yeah, so
120.
both of you actually have superior dark vision going out across the water. So again, the moon like is
The
still
moon. I'm sorry.
the moon haunts you. Wow, that was a guttural reaction, by the way.
So
The
great.
It was
second I said the
immediate.
moon, the second I said the moon, this man's fucking jaw unhinged. Dear God, crack
That was
cocaine
sorry.
addicts in here.
I'm so sorry.
After the sphere in the sky that glows white shines its light upon the water, you can tell that you're not near any lights whatsoever. The only dim light that comes off of the ship barely spreads even like 15 feet off the boat. The moonlight kind of illuminates the shoreline that you can see is a few miles off. And you can definitely tell that from where you are, you don't notice any like movement, any approaching ships. You don't actually see, again, with a 27, even before like it got dark, because you kind of stayed up with Cyrus for the evening, you didn't see any movement whatsoever. Like it is unnaturally still in the water to the point like where even the tides themselves don't appear to be moving too much. And you're just kind of enjoying a nice quiet evening. With that 27, you can see that the crew doesn't seem to need sleep as they still tend to their duties, just kind of monitoring the ship and hovering about. They do function as little mini night lights, so you get a little extra dim lighting there. But you're kind of just viewing a legit sea of stars. You look down into the water and you can see the reflection of the night sky, and from what you can see, go ahead and give me a survival check. I will say we're going to call this a DC 17.
DC 17 survival. Is it looking shiesty out here? It's not actually looking that shiesty. Alright. Fuck! I'll use another inspiration to reroll. Okay. Oh, go fuck myself. Okay. Yeah, and I don't even think Kipley's thing will take me where I need to be.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, you can use the D6 and the D4 if you want. It's still not likely that you'll get there, but...
Gang, we're here to gamble.
It's true. Yeah.
It's gonna be a...
burning for your inspirations like crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a shitty one anyway. D6. Oh my god, never mind.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so don't even bother rolling that D4. Yeah, you kind of look up at the night sky and you feel like it could be comparable to like... something is there that you're not quite getting right now, but that's not what you're really worried about right now. It's more worried about how you're just spending your evening with Cyrus on a beautiful starry night. Do you try and chat up any conversations or further any previous ones from before?
Duradon will say, so... am I... am I on the right path to being the favorite one, the favorite partner that you may or may not kill? Where am I ranking?
I feel like I made a mistake mentioning that earlier.
Yeah. Top 10?
Listen,
Top 20?
you are within the top 10 because I haven't had that many partners before.
Alright, guess. Top
Ah,
5?
ah, Durdon. I'm not going to rank my partners because I have been in love before, and I have been in multiple relationships, some completely forced and out of pure duty to my house, others through interest and intrigue and respect. I've known you for now a number of months. You are a very interesting man. I find that I enjoy your company and that you are very entertaining, and sometimes you think about your decisions before you make them, which I feel like compared to the rest of the people I travel with, what we travel with, is an astonishing bare minimum that is not met for many. So you are your own person in your own right, and you are not competing with anyone else.
I mean, of course, they're dead, so that was a well, are they?
She gives you a cheeky grin, but doesn't actually answer.
He's like, okay, all right, okay. Also, love that was used today.
It kind of slipped out. More of like, I love hanging out with you guys. It's great. I've had a very boring life up until this point, and now it's interesting to say the least.
So it's like a platonic friendship love.
Yeah, of course. I love hanging out with Mammoth, and Mustang, of course. A very very interesting gentleman himself, and Kipley can have her moments, and you know, grown to care for you somewhat, I guess.
Just somewhat.
Potentially.
Hmm.
I don't know. This new Duradon seems to be rather needy for some reason.
This new Duradon has experienced what it is to leave things unsaid, undone, uh, unexplored because he figured there would be a tomorrow. That is not
Oh,
guaranteed.
right. It never really is in this line of business. Or, well, I guess our world in general is not very forgiving for life in itself.
Hmm. So, I didn't want to. I didn't forget about you when I was asking everyone else what they wanted
No,
to
I
be.
know. I was being playful. I thought about it a lot. And I do plan on going back to the Underdark once we return home.
And
Just, I'm more trying to get through the now before planning out the future.
that's fair. That's wise. Um, makes a lot of sense given our track record. But, you are you going back to reacquaint yourself with the way things work, or is there unfinished business there?
Well, I remember I told you when we first had our sharing session together. I would like to not just restore power to my house, but try and end the war between factions. I find it rather silly and absurd that we are fighting a war nearly out of tradition for over hundreds of years just to have a truly meaningless kind of bout for power, when in reality all that we actually achieve in this is thinning our population, building a semblance that you can never trust anyone in our youth, and I would like to unite the Underdark underneath one banner, even if that means having to kill off all the others, which I do realize in retrospect is the same thing that everyone else is trying to do right now. I just want to do it better or more efficiently, to the point where I don't have to kill countless individuals in the process.
There is a very noble desire. I mean,
I assure you it's not as noble as you would think it is. I'm leaving out a multitude of details. There is a large bit of vengefulness behind it as well.
so you'd be what, the queen of the draw if you succeed?
I'd be the matriarch, the headmistress, yes.
Cool.
I don't really like that title though, so I'd probably change it once I became a leader, if I became a leader. But then again, I think we shouldn't use leaders, because one person can be corrupted by power. And that clearly has shown that it hasn't worked in the past, so perhaps a council, perhaps 2 leaders. I'm still working things out as I go.
Well, I mean, it's kind of how the creating something new works, right? No one's done it before, so you're forced to come up with the majority of it, at least until it takes off, and you can trust others.
Throw daggers at a wall and see which one sticks.
If you're a good enough thrower, I hope all of them.
She kind of turns and gives you a look of like a very unimpressed, like, really?
Come on, weapon humor is kind of my entire thing.
Really, that's all you are? Just one walking weapon humor joke?
Yep. And
The Stabbage Hunter.
that is funny. It's funny. It's true too. Jesus Christ. I think I hurt myself more than other people hurt. No, I don't actually. I actually get hurt a lot by people. But
you do throw yourself into the fray quite often.
Yeah. I mean, if I don't, who will? Kipley?
I think she has too, but to her own detriment, that normally works out way faster than you. You get like beat to shit. She just goes in and out real quick, lights out.
Yeah. The Kipling may be quite a heavy hitter. You were there, or Mischief was there. Gipley apparently has some, like, forms, I guess, or something that she can do. It was,
Goodness, she doesn't tell me everything.
yeah, it's, we gotta keep her from death. Like, before it was an occupation thing, now it's like I watched her turn into something that given almost still wasn't enough, but it didn't seem like her. But also, it seemed exactly like it was one of those things where it was like, oh, this isn't Kipley, but also this makes sense for Kipley. You know.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. You should definitely ask Mischief about it. It was honestly terrifying.
You see, as you kind of say that, she scooches a little bit closer to you, and that gets like face to face, but kind of puts hers uncomfortably close to yours and goes, "Ask me what?"
Oh no, that was this is awkward.
Listening to this bothersome romance stirred on, you can either just kiss or fuck already. I swear to God, this whole back and forth is truly tiring.
Well, I'm trying to be a different person. I've just been somebody that uses their body all the time, and I'm trying out the whole charisma thing.
Yes, trying is the key word. I think she already likes you to a decent extent. Maybe just don't, you know, talk about marriage so soon when she just talked about her dead partners for all night. I'm trying to give you some coaching advice here.
I appreciate it. It is useful. I was not aware that we don't. I felt that was like a normal thing, right? Like dead parents, everyone has
Talk
them.
about your oh, buddy, goodness gracious. I am literally the incarnation of mischief and chaos. And I can tell you that's crazy.
To a child
Certified
soldier,
crazy.
to a child soldier, dead parents are normal. That feels like the normal part of
You
the
have to make it.
childhood.
Okay, you can't just use the child soldier bit though. You've been in society for how many years? You don't need every conversation with that. Like, hi, may I buy one cooked ham, please? Also, did you know that all of my family is dead and I'm a loner? Can I get a one copper discount?
Well, no, but I also didn't talk to a lot of people. I kind of like did the job, got drunk, caused trouble, repeat. So this is my first time socializing with people. I think on a like not the savage hunter is needed persona basis. You know,
Like that isn't just who you actually are.
yeah, you know, it's just so this is different. But yeah, okay, that talking about dead parents and marriage in the same conversation isn't ideal. It's not, good.
This is truly tiring. Also, first off, I need you to know, I hear almost everything you say when I'm not currently present in this body. You talk, and not just you, but your friends talk an absurd amount of rubbish against me, when I've only helped all of you in your lives. I know you're kind of stuck in this thing because of me, but also you're alive because of me. So don't try and pull the, oh, we are forced to do this kind of thing.
I mean, of course, yes, we do have other options, which include die. So I guess
Death
technically
is always an option, dear. It lurks around every corner, right? But I made sure that it's not looking around your corner. You're welcome. Rejoice. Live. Enjoy the moment.
Oh, well, you're out. You're out here now. What are you gonna do?
Well, I'm out. It's a crazy statement. What do you mean, what am I gonna do?
Like, once we find...
If you could try and separate me from her?
No. Well, yes, but also more so like when the effects of your mischief aren't like this irreversible thing, and you can interact with people.
Maybe become a goddess. Maybe form a cult. Maybe get an island or two under my control. Become a monarch, maybe. I guess I am already a monarch, but not a whole one at the moment, because I'm only a piece of what I used to be. Oh, yes, the gathering of my pieces would be rather nice to have. That'd probably be my first thing, and then afterwards, ascend to something higher. Don't worry, I'll make you my head priest, of course,
I mean,
for your hard labor.
you don't have to, but
I will.
okay. Is that always what you've wanted to do? Like, what does desire to a concept of a being of like concept? How does desire work for you?
Ah, you get really bored. A lot of time passes by. You watch mortals do things that are either funny, irritating, or, you know, some sort of entertainment. I poke at them and see what happens. Repeat. I don't really have a whole lot of desires per se. I just like meddling. That is where I get my enjoyment from.
So you've never had like dreams or aspirations or things that you wanted to? Well, I guess you becoming a goddess or a god or being is.
Returning to the station of one.
Okay, that's
What? No, I understand that. Returning would mean that I would be one of those disgusting lowy gods. Returning to the station of a monarch. You could say that's my current desire.
okay. Is it just the absolute power that you like about being a monarch, or is it like what's
Oh,
that
you
like?
bore me with so many questions, Doridon. I might just fall asleep.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just trying to understand. You seem like you have like a lot of power and capabilities and just things in general. And
You sound so smart now. Continue.
I just wonder, kind of,
What's
if
it like to
you
be powerful?
a little bit, but also like when you can have anything you want, like what is there to work towards and what is there
There's
to want?
always something more. There's a bigger pond to swim in. There's a bigger lake beyond that, and there's a bigger ocean that is always out of view. One small prank can lead to a whole slew of chaotic mischiefs. I just want to watch as people's lives change, and how I can cause those who deserve to have their luck and fortune changed, and how sometimes those who don't to have their luck and fortune change occasionally, and to spit in the god's face as I do it.
So since you like change is like a really big thing, right?
Chaos
Do
is
you ever
change.
do you ever think like you settle down with someone?
She like presses her shoulder up against yours. My turtle moving quite fast, I
No,
must say. In front
I
of
didn't say me.
Cyrus, I'm really flustered.
I did not say me. That was purely hypothetical. I'm.
If you
I,
insist. Oh, you are so easily manipulated.
yeah.
Some beings do hold on to those more, I guess you're trying to allude to physical desire.
Well,
I'm not
that.
really one of them.
Oh, we got a little ace going on, don't we? Or a romantic, or both.
I mean, it's not the fact that I wouldn't find certain beings attractive, it's more the fact that my own self in casting these mischiefs and chaos into the world already does enough for me that I don't really need something to be inserted inside of me for pleasure.
Ah,
I still very much remembered all the pleasantries from when I was alive, but I don't really need that anymore.
what about the romance side of things?
Oh my goodness, why are you so obsessed with romance? For the man who, I guess you haven't had any in your life, and that's why, but... Ugh.
Oh,
And just talk to Mustang when he wakes up and he will tell you romance ain't all what it sounds like it is.
That
Isn't that a good
sounds
Mustang impression? Ain't all what it is. All I need to do is spit in a pot. Basically, and
sounds like someone that's been hurt on the romantic side of things. This
I
makes me
think you're
cute.
looking way too deep, my friend, at something that you don't even know what you are looking at.
Yeah,
Am I Cyrus or am I even Mischief right now? You wouldn't be able to tell unless I cast these illusions for you.
that's true. That's true. But I mean, hey, I'm a curious person, and we're gonna be stuck together for a long while. I, I thought maybe knowing that we aren't so different in certain ways may make it easier to kind of get
Oh,
through all this.
wrong neighborhood. Bonding with a god or anyone near that level of power is not happening, friend. I like you, but it is close to tolerate at times, and you are trotting a line.
This is fair. All right.
Just be a person when you talk to other people. And maybe, just maybe, she won't bite your head off after having sex with you.
Wait, you said be a person. I've been being a person. Okay. Got you.
You see Cyrus just kind of blinks in front of you for a few moments. What do you mean you've been being a person?
Ah, it was the inside thoughts not being inside.
Hmm. That doesn't surprise me.
That's fair. That's
Anyway, you should be getting to bed soon.
fair. Will you be joining at any point tonight, or are you staying up further?
I can stay up for another shift before I require meditation.
Well, I will. Do we have like beds here, or is it like
Yeah, you have
hammocks?
hammocks beneath. It is not actual beds. There are multiple private rooms underneath the deck that have hammocks in them, but no proper bed.
Gotcha.
This
That
is
would.
a summoned version of the
Yeah.
of a galleon, so it's not like actual how room formats would be. This is a much more sleek and small ship designed for speed, not exactly storage and comfort.
Nice. Well, if you want to share it, whenever you.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
This is oh dear God. Is there persuasion?
Yep.
Gang. Look how fucked we are today. 4.
4, baby. You see, she looks at you with like a understanding look of like, I get what you were trying to say, but she goes, I don't think you've had the pleasure of traveling the sea as many years as I have. Sharing a hammock on a rocking boat is not exactly comfortable for meditation nor many other things, so I think for tonight I will simply rest up here.
That is fair. I will see you in the morning.
Alright then, see you in the morning. And you head off. Anyone that like take second watch?
Sure.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Uh, 23
23.
or 22.
22. As you're kind of, again, back on the deck of the ship, looking about in the evening, you admire the Song of the Stars, and although it wasn't your handiwork making the ship, your subconscious design and how you wanted to format it coming to fruition still is a little bit satisfying, and you kind of take in the evening where you have not actually been on the seas in quite some time, so it's nice to have a bit of calm. You look up into the stars, and as you look up and take an actual account of the sky, you can also go ahead and give me a survival check. It's still going to be a DC of 17.
I'll use inspiration on that.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
D6. Yay!
18, nice. Um, as you look up at the night sky, funny enough, this is something that Mammoth would specifically notice far more than the others. Because you spent the majority of your life sitting under a complete pitch black night where only the stars illuminated your surroundings. Growing up on that island wasn't just, it wasn't just the fact that it was you mostly being off by yourself and with your grandfather, but no other civilization really nearby meant there was no light pollution, there was no obstructions of buildings or anything. Simply climbing to a peak or top of a tree or a canopy and looking up, you could get a perfect view of the night sky. And as you view it now, with an 18, you can't really make out too many of the similar constellations, or at least you can't find them right now, as you're unsure where to look exactly in the sky. But what you do notice after watching for a while in kind of silent meditation compilation is the sky seems to a pretty decent extent, much brighter than it was before. Back when you were growing up, you still remember seeing a similar looking sky, but it's almost like there is still, I, from what you could guess, maybe dozens, maybe 100, maybe far more than that. Who knows? But the bright lights that shine down upon you and illuminate the sea around you, you get a feeling in your stomach that you know why that is the case. And you have a moment of dread that whatever druid is supposed to try and stop this creature for this time may not succeed. At the very least, something might have went wrong. Is there anything that you would like to do on your watch? Cyrus is technically available to speak to, or Mischief, but
I'd kind of just be watching the little ghost guys do their work.
Sure. Again, as you're too deep to anchor in the ocean, the ship is just currently adrift, and you can see all the sails have been pulled up, and the crew is just kind of on kind of maintenance standby at the moment, where they're just kind of drifting around, not really doing any one main task, but more just kind of existing in multiple places, getting ready for if they are needed. But it is kind of fun to watch the strange light creatures that just kind of look like floating orbs bob around the ship in space without actually needing any directions or orders to function. Eventually, your watch comes to an end as you head off back to sleep. Kipley.
Yeah.
Would you like to take third watch, excuse me?
Yeah.
Sure. And may I ask, did you go under to sleep, or did you exist on top of the ship, on the actual deck or crow's nest?
She probably would have hung out in the crow's nest.
I figured. Can I just give me a perception check? Give me a stealth check and give me a perception check.
Wappa? Wappa.
6.
Whoops.
And a natural 1.
Whoops. Ignore the last one.
So, you don't. I think what legitimately happens is you go up into the crow's nest, which is more like one of the top of the sails because it doesn't have like a one main mast because the sails are all over the place in this ship. But you clamber your way up to the peak of one of these sails and you put yourself at rest. You don't really pick up much of Duradon's conversation with Cyrus, or you don't really see Mammoth kind of staring off into the night and kind of poking around with the floating orbs as much. But what you do end up doing is ever so briefly drifting off into a sort of not quite dreamless sleep, but just in a very similar way to how elves meditate. You're still aware that you are you have surroundings right now and that you are conscious and able to move and wake if there is something nearby, but you're in that similar dreamlike state where you begin to kind of nod off, very similar to daydreaming. And as the night moves on, you find yourself moved to a different body of water. You don't see the song of the stars, and you don't see the expansive ocean that lays out in front of you. But as you look out, you do see the familiar river. A small trickle of water. The soft, sandy beaches. And you do see this small hut off in the distance and the bone orchard behind it. You look around and you can see there's no looming shadow of the Bone Mother right now. You don't see any other figures or anyone. The wind is still, but you can tell it's still cold in the evening. How, as the breeze does begin to slowly pick up, you get a chill running through your spine, and then an immediate kind of sensory recognition that no longer really bothers you anymore. At least not physically. You can look over and see the stars reflecting into the river. And you can see your own reflection. Now it's been roughly about 5 days since you last ate. And you were unaware of what you last consumed as well. But as you look down at the reflection in front of you, what is Kipley's thoughts and reactions as you see that gray and pale and nearly kind of thin skeleton-esque frame that is shown back in the water?
I think it's a it's not necessarily welcomed reflection, but entirely expected. Like, this is what she always kind of imagined things would wind up in the end, despite young girlish thoughts and hopes, and this is just kind of the way it is. How else could it have been? How else could it have gone for one who's made so many deals?
As you kind of sit in that moment of recognition, you can see that a silhouette appears beside you in the water. You see the veiled form of the Bone Mother. The Bone Mother, excuse me.
Mutter.
My voice is getting so crackly right now. I'm trying to keep my words short.
Mutter.
I guess did it again.
Mutter,
But
please.
Murder, please. Don't do this to me. Okay, we're gonna really have to kind of go syllable by syllable fucking here. You see the Bone Mother sitting next to you, the veil draped over their face. And you can see as they're not, like their frame still tall and kind of hovering over you, but like not imposing on your space. Just kind of a few feet off, their finger dipped in the sand, kind of mindlessly scrolling about. The Bone Mother and the Godfather. I hate you. God damn it. You can see as she goes, "Your mind visits here, but I did not call. Does something vex you, child?"
just more. Maybe needing a little bit of comfort in familiar surroundings. I don't know. I guess it's just that, acceptance.
I understand. The world itself for you is changing would not be the right word, but that is something you are trying to do to the world. Evolving.
And as you kind of look at her and around, even without giving a perception check, you can notice the orchard from behind the hut. Although it spans vast and beyond your vision, you remember after you personally killed a number of the heralds, how their names and the trees that they were carved into appeared closest to the river are not there. You kind of look back and you can see that a lot of your own kind of personal aspects of this realm seem to be changed as well. You remember Ezrin greeted you the majority of the time that you looked in the water, and he did not. The initial tree that showed up, not just after the heralds, but after the encounter in the bar as well, is not there. And you see she looks at you and goes,
This is most certainly the first time in my long life I have had the pleasure of greeting one of my warlocks in two different forms at the same time.
What does that mean?
I am with you, and I can sense you are far. But you are entangled between me and myself. From where I used to be. Perhaps that is what called you here after all. Would you like to meet her?
The old you.
she nods.
How old? Like before all the time that we're at now? Before my people? Before what?
The one who has existed for quite some time. I knew this world far before I knew your people.
I don't know, you're pretty scary.
Come now, Ghibli. I thought we've grown closer together for our time. Your services has brought me much, much needed satience to my hunger.
Right.
If you do not desire, I will not open that door for you. I simply offered because you seemed in need of answers and guidance of which I do not think I would be able to provide.
All right. No, sure. Yeah, let's do it.
You see that symbol that she was actually writing in the sand. As you kind of peep over and take a look, you can actually see that she was in fact just writing the name Bone Mother in what appears to be, because what languages do you speak?
Uh,
I think one of them is Infernal.
Abyssal?
Abyssal, right?
Bat.
I did tell you could
Goblin.
write Bat.
Sylvan.
Sylvan. Wonderful. You do, in fact, recognize Sylvan. There is one other language that you don't recognize as it's written in, but you do see next to the common variants of the Bone Mother, written out in Sylvan, is in fact the same translated phrase.
Very well. May this conversation ease your mind, even if it is ever so slightly. Farewell, child.
And the silhouette drifts away into black wisps that are carried by the breeze.
Real quick. The name she wrote, did you say it was literally Bone Mother?
It was the Bone Mother that she wrote down.
Okay,
That was the
okay.
direct translation that you
Got it.
got from Sylvan.
Got it.
As you can see the black wisps disappear in the wind. You wait, you look around. Nothing immediately happens. You don't see anything of the world breaking or the river jumping out at you, but you do feel a draw to look back into the water. And as you kind of stare at your reflection again, you can see your face begins to the water around it begins to be disturbed. Ripples begin to cause it to disappear. And you find yourself staring at a face that is not your own. Something full, lively. You see a slight smile. A very beautiful and wide brim hat sitting on top of a woman with a very soft smile. Kind of sharper features. Not quite looking gaunt, but certainly not a round face. And you can see that she seems to have this near coy-like smile ingrained onto her face. And as she looks up at you, you can see her eyes kind of meet yours and match your gaze. And after a moment, you kind of watch as one moment you blink, and as you're looking at the river, the initial reflection disappears and is gone. And as you look around, looking back at the water and looking in like a quick motion around you, there is a slight kind of movement of wind, and you see the figure is sitting directly in front of you. One leg crossed over the other. You can see that the sand has come up to meet them from where they currently were last seen. And it's kind of almost molded itself into a little bit of a, not quite a throne, like some of those sand building competitions where they do like kind of a more elaborate looking sand castle in like really rapid time. You kind of look back, you can see this very well molded chair that was not there before, with little kind of like fine like patterns running past it. And you can see as she's sitting on top of it, one leg crossed over the other, looking kind of a little bit down at you. You hear the voice reach out.
I do not, in fact, know who you are. And yet you have found yourself in a reflection of my home. Tell me, child, what brings you here?
Well, ironically, you do.
Is that so? Do you come seeking my gifts? Power?
She kind of looks you up and down, sees your form, and she goes,
Perhaps seeking to lift a curse? Make a deal? But it seems you've already made many deals before. And one feels so strangely familiar.
and she kind of reaches out a gloved hand right next to your face, not touching it, but getting oh so close where you feel like you want to pull away.
We have met before, have we not?
Yes.
Interesting. You have used my gifts before.
Yes.
We have formed something between us, I can tell. And yet, despite that, you seem to be still so saddened. What troubles you, child?
There were two of us that made deals,
Ah,
but only one of us benefited.
I see. And you are the one that is left behind, looking to repair what was broken.
Maybe.
Tell me of your name. You do not need to worry about any sort of stealing of such.
She kind of chuckles to herself, looking down at her own lap. It's Kipli.
It is strange to trust a fae with your own name, isn't it? I can sense your hesitation. So thick in the air I could cut it with a knife.
It already belongs to you, so...
And that I figured. It is a beautiful name. For a beautiful purpose. How did we meet? If you don't mind me asking.
In violence.
Shame.
I don't yet know what that purpose is, though. And you know, I feel like maybe this is the perfect time to learn it.
How so?
Well, you know, I've kind of traveled a really long way. Long way, and...
That you have.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm not as familiar with you, and you're not as familiar with me, despite we know each other very well. But there has to be a reason, right? And since you know things, maybe you'd be willing to share it, or why else am I here?
I was curious when I felt you on my doorstep and I wished to meet you. If you would like to know more about me, it is only fair I share the same that you have given me. I have a feeling you know my origins, at least, where I am from.
I wouldn't assume much.
Come now, you made a deal with me, you at least must know something. And if you haven't, shame on myself for not being more open.
Shame.
I am often called Morgan. The Morgan. Mainly because many people do not think of me as a person. Simply an entity.
Why?
I enjoy the name. You get associated with the decomposition of life and nurturing the rebirth of what comes after. People often think of you as a thing and not as someone who helps that thing move on. Does that make sense?
Weirdly does.
I have not been to my home world in quite some time, but I do come from the Fae. Somewhere, I must say, nearly as beautiful as this place. She kind of looks around the sea of stars and looks past and sees the bone orchard behind you and goes, I've always had a fondness for the never-ending horizon. Something that is always growing, evermore with each life. Many fear this place, you know. You seem to be a bit more at home here. Perhaps because you dance between the line and death on a daily basis. Or perhaps because you have already seen enough suffering in this world. Did you know? Death does not carry grudges. It does not pick one person to hate or consume. It simply waits until you are ready to join it.
This seems to be one of the few places that doesn't change.
Oh, it does. It does every so often. You will see a new star appear in the sky. A constellation join or be removed, replaced by a new one. Everything is changing constantly.
What about the past?
She smiles. Is that not what you are here to do?
Is that
You are
right?
not of this world. Right is... Right, wrong. Everything has its own set of circumstances. It is simply about what you do. What you choose.
What do you want from me?
I do not know what our deal was made for. I am unsure if it even has been accomplished or not. But as of now, I see you carry a token on your possession. Something guiding you to someone dear to me.
Who's that?
I feel in due time you will come to see.
I doubt it.
Maybe. Maybe not. The only thing that I would ask of you is this. What do you plan to do with the curse that you have inherited?
I don't really know. It's not like I didn't have any plans. And I agreed to it. I just didn't want to die. And I felt bad for Vanda. Vander.
Vander. So you simply wished to take the suffering of another? And now you are left unsure of whether you would like to assimilate to such a curse.
I don't know. I've only really used it once. The other times I didn't really have control of it.
And would you like to be yourself? And would you like to have control?
Are you asking if I can go back? To, you know.
I am asking if you would like to. If it is your desire to become this thing, this new you. Or if this change is merely a regret of circumstance.
I think that depends on what I can do with this. I definitely have plans and things I want to do. But if I can't do it, then there's no fucking point. And I may as well just not have it. And I'm just talking aloud. This, you know, I usually do this with my brother, and you're not him. This is kind of weird. I don't want to bore you.
It is said, many different peoples at least have said, that when you are standing before death, you tend to be the most honest with yourself. People quite often end up telling me similar desires, unsureties, whether their actions they chose in life was something that they wished to be really true, or if they merely fell upon it in circumstance. Someone else gave them their wish, or if they regretted their actions, their relationships, accomplishments. Normally they ask, is it enough? Did they do enough? And that is normally the question that goes unanswered. I think you have the right mindset. Simply do what satisfies you. Death will come for you either way, in fortune or misfortune, in suffering or delight. I hope you reunite with your brother. But I think I have found what I will ask for you. Not of, but for you. There is a place, a connection between my world and yours, where I first stepped into reality, into being here. Visit it. You will find your answers there. Of what you will become and what you will leave behind.
In this time?
She nods.
This is a really big place. If you could narrow it down just a little.
You see, she reaches out and places a hand on your shoulder, almost like she's cupping something on top of it. And as she pulls away, you see that there is a small, almost translucent looking bird perched on your left shoulder. What appears to be some sort of crow, maybe a raven. I believe you already have a guide. When you are ready, he will show you the way.
Okay.
Just kind of wiggles her shoulder a little.
Bird kind of just moves a little bit side to side, trying to stay in that little how kind of like chickens will keep their head perfectly still while their body moves in a little gyroscopic motion. Bird tries to do the same, but just kind of flaps its wings, then re-lands on your shoulder.
Thank you, Ghibli. I've enjoyed our conversation.
Really?
Not many visit here.
Oh.
Even fewer come without looking for something. There is one other favor I would ask of you.
Oh. Sure.
I sense somewhere in your midst there is one that
And you see she genuinely goes to laugh and holds up this little like floral palette in front of her face. It kind of looks like one of the like the hand fans that you use to cool yourself with. She holds it up and you do hear a genuine chuckle.
there is one in your presence that has avoided my grasp many a time. I would ask of you to have them stay on one side of the proverbial fence, as I am sure that I would have liked to move on their soul many times, and yet it is still very resilient, you could say.
I'm not following.
Go ahead and make me a DC 10 either insight check and or history check.
Oh my god.
What did you roll? Exactly 10?
10.
Hey, listen. Set low DCs for a reason. You have a moment where you're like, what are you talking about? And you're slowly putting things together. One, Morgan seems to be a fake creature of what seems to be either death or decomposition, and the passing on of bodies. And although she cannot tell exactly who it is, you have a strong feeling that she is referring to one of your party members who has died an exuberant amount of times right next to you, when one of your main tasks as duties is to feed Morgan, the Bone Mother, in your time as you know her. Souls that pass on.
You mean Durdon, the savage?
I have no idea what their name is. I can only sense a soul that has danced on the line of death for many a time.
Yeah, but I can't kill him. Well, I couldn't.
No, I am not saying that you have to kill him. I am simply saying keep him on one side of the river, because if he passes through again while I am here, I may just eat him. It is a succulent soul that has died many times, and
Ew.
each time that he resists,
Well, you know,
it would be hard to restrain myself, but I will not do so on my
I'm very
own
familiar
accord.
with this soul, and it's not as succulent as you think.
Yeah, he's just kind of like narrows her eyes.
Have you eaten souls before to know this answer?
Uh, maybe not quite like. No, probably not. But I'm very familiar with this person.
I am not going to eat him. I am simply saying, try and keep him away from death. Because there's only so many times that one can die in my presence before it is their final time.
I do, but he keeps throwing himself towards it.
Then perhaps it is destiny.
No.
Eh?
No, I. Well, eventually.
Eventually.
But I think maybe when you're really old.
We will have to see.
Maybe this is like your thing that you have to reach for. That, you know, like in those really cool stories where you have like this arch enemy who's always evading you until the very end, and then you greet each other and it's like,
You are no longer enemies.
yeah.
I like that narrative. I don't think it is fitting here, but I like it.
It's a pretty thought.
Whether he greets me with a smile or disdain is up to him. But I am sure we will meet one day.
Probably not on my watch, but
It is an irony that you have satiated hunger before, and yet you protect people and stop me from feeding.
just for a time.
I am not disappointed or mad. Enjoying the irony of the situation.
You're very pretty.
You see her pull down the fan. You see a genuine smile.
And you the same, my dear.
You see she reaches out a hand, and this time the gloved hand does brush against your face. You feel a bit of warmth behind it. Probably the first time actually feeling in your body since the blood machine that Vince made you broke.
Rest well, my dear. We may speak again soon. But for now, you have my mission, my guidance, and my blessing.
Thank you.
May you find your answer soon. And you feel as the vision begins to fade. the ripples in the water begin to swell. And in one smooth motion, as the wave begins to reach out of the river and crash over you, you wake back up. And you're back on the ship, and you can see the morning light beginning to shine ahead, signaling the dawn's arrival. And as you do, as you peek over the edge of the ship and look down at your reflection, you swear for a moment as the dawn's light is refracting off of the water, you can see just a little bit of movement flying away from your shoulder, off, headed northbound. But more importantly, as you look down as well, you see there's a bit of color in your face. Not much. Still mostly pale and gaunt, but you see for the first time since you arrived here, it looks like you have the slightest bit of warmth. Not quite circulating throughout your entire body or feeling like you're back to normal, but ever so slightly existing inside of you to the point where you do not feel complete and utter discomfort. And as you all complete a long rest and begin a new day just outside of the Ironwood Thicket, and moving on to meeting the first circle of druids, that is where we're going to end tonight's session. And I will go ahead and quickly DM you something, Megan.
Moi? Oh.
Okay. And with that, we will end tonight's session. We will pick up there next week, going forward with hopefully 4 players. If Ash isn't here again, I was going to fast forward and just go to the beginning of the Grove's introduction tonight, but with a 46 and you landing on Kipley, I at least wanted to have some bit of growth, a little bit of RP before we actually got there. Hopefully next time, 4 players, we can actually make it to the Grove and begin on. If not, and we still have 3 players, we'll go. I think we're at the point where we can just go anyways, because it's been a few sessions now we've been trying to make it. But also next time, because I didn't want to start off a combat, especially since we were on, like 30 minutes late, down a player. From all combats onward, whenever you would like to try and use any of the special either inspiration maneuvers, your combination maneuvers, anything like that, just feel free to ask if you have any questions or if you would like some guidance on how to do so, as they are all available going forward. And if you also want to try anything of like trying to get around obstacles or like puzzles or traps, you can absolutely try and use those to brute force them. They are not tied just to initiative. So you can test them out as well.
It felt like we leveled.
Kind of.
It felt like it felt like you leveled up.
Yeah, a little bit.
Uh,
Like we just got a bunch of cool new abilities.
yeah. Well, I will say it may feel like a bonus, but it very much is in fact a give and take here as I begin to go in and do not only the replacements or revisions for the item abilities, but also going forward and feeling that power dip of not getting that every level bonus for item abilities. I wanted it to feel decently strong off rip, since you're going to have it for most likely a few levels till you make your own. I mean, again, you can start making your own at any time that you wish, but I figure it's going to take at least a few sessions for everyone to feel comfortable with it, so.
I do like the combo moves. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, D&D focuses solely on what a player can do, and while you can like hold actions to cast Fireball and control water at the same time or anything like that, not necessarily going to do anything cool. But this is entirely supposed to be, I have a cool thing, you have a cool thing, let's make it a cool thing. And I will pat myself on the back as an absolute egoist. I think I did great on a lot of these. Some may need revision. Definitely, I think I ended up using Wild Shape too many times in too many of them. And I think I'm going to have to cut back on that, especially since you only have 2 uses per day, and you normally use Star Archer at least once per battle.
I have 2 per short rest.
2 per short rest, exactly. So even like using like 1 or 2 per combat isn't too bad, but I just don't want to like, I don't have to force you to be like, oh, I want to do this cool thing, but I also want to be useful and do like chalice form so I can heal people or something like that. So for you, I may need to revise some small effects to who can use what, but for the most part, I feel like this is, at least the abilities-wise, is super fun. Sadly, one of my favorite ones isn't even shown to the players yet because it's Mustangs, and I did. I think I found both crazy art for it and the pair up with Duradon made something really stupid but funny. I will at least tell you its name of Carbon Cowboy.
Oh.
Carbon Cowboy?
Yes.
Yo!
Listen,
yes.
you gave me a character. Gave me a character that was once made of coal, and you gave me a character whose literal ability was to crystallize crystalline, carbonate. Jesus Christ, it took like 5 tries because I wasn't actually remembering the second part of that name. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make a fucking Carbon Cowboy. But yeah, if you guys have any initial ideas you want to start talking with each other about, absolutely you can do that as well. But or if you feel you need revisions or like something seems unclear for an item ability as well, just feel free to message me. Or if you're confused by a storm with a face on.
I'm confused.
Confused by what?
Megan's picture that she posted earlier in chat is one of her spell cards. And I was looking for something that was both a storm and had something like psionic to do with it. And I found there was literally like a face with a head in its cloud. It looks super creepy. And I was like, this is both perfect for this ability and Megan. And
all
Megan as a person.
I saw was phallic. That was all I saw.
Oh my god.
Right?
You did not.
You see it now?
I mean, you have to be looking for it,
No!
I think.
That is
I think
all
you
I
gotta
saw.
be
I
looking
literally
for it.
was looking at it and I was like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Did Tom make my ability a penis?
And then I saw what normal people saw.
My question is,
cock
did
at
you
7th level?
did you only see the top of it first or the bottom of it first?
The bottom,
that gave
like
you
the where the lightning is striking the middle bottom.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you got that image from?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you gotta be looking for to see
No.
it. That's a Megan
No.
moment. That's a
No.
Megan moment for sure.
This is Megan's. Look, I was shit at those 3D pictures that you had to like defocus to see the picture underneath.
Uh-huh.
I was never very good at those. I had to really concentrate. But anyways,
Well.
so I'm confused
Yeah.
about something.
What's up?
What was the thing with Zyrus?
Oh, which one?
Where she was like talking to Durdon, but she was like looking at Kipley. I think I missed something.
Oh, no,
Some
no,
kind
no,
of
no,
context.
no. Dom remembered way back when. If you remember
when she gave
when
her
you went,
advice.
yeah,
Okay.
when you were back on Paradise Peak and you had the moment with her, yeah, when you said you want me,
Okay, that makes sense.
that was literally it.
That makes sense.
Like if he got a 25 on that insight check, because that's not like a subtle thing that you can get out of an insight check. I want to at least make it a higher DC. But if he had literally gotten one higher, I would have been like, you think they had a moment where Zyrus was either uncomfortable or unsure about something.
Perfect.
And it's not love, but there's something lingering. There's some lingering confusion about Kipley.
Perfect. Okay, that makes me feel so much happier.
Oh no, trust me.
I mean,
Dom
I was
remembers the
willing to
bits.
go with anything, but I was like, wait, what?
Dom always remembers the bits. You're gonna run into a like 800-year-old dragon called George. That's gonna be around the corner next.
Like, George has never left the forefront of my mind. I'm still.
Do you know how tempting it is to make every NPC's name that? Like, it's from session 1, you started off with it with the fucking lemonade stand, and it hasn't gone out of my mind of like, I have endless opportunities. I will say I have made NPCs named George, but you haven't gotten to either that point in the story or that aspect of the world yet. So there are multiple Georges out there. Whether it's the actual George or not, who knows? Well, we'll have to see if it's Georgeception or it's a random G that we don't fuck with.
I mean, she knows who George is.
You know. That's right. You'll know the George when you find him. Oh, but it was nice playing with you all again. I missed D&D Fridays. I will have this available for the foreseeable future. We just normally won't be going past 11:30 or 12 o'clock because I will be doing opening shifts the next day.
Totally fair.
Speaking of which, I do have to be up in exactly 5 hours. Oh,